When Lara and Kira, two Xandarian aliens, are exiled to Earth for their ideals of individual freedom, they encounter a chaotic and primitive world, but one brimming with potential. Initially met with suspicion, the sisters begin to integrate, finding new friends and even love amidst humanity. Jake and Alex, two human soldiers, form deep bonds with Lara and Kira, and together they face unimaginable challenges, including a fierce battle against Xandarian warriors sent to eliminate them. What began as punishment transforms into a journey of self-discovery and cooperation, with the sisters leading efforts to unite human and Xandarian civilizations. In Lara and Kira, Between Two Worlds, you will witness an epic tale of courage, love, and resilience. Join the sisters as they turn their exile into an opportunity to change the universe, proving that true strength lies in unity and mutual respect. The Obsidian spacecraft sliced through the dark void, its angular hull reflecting the distant light of stars. Inside, two aliens of striking beauty, Lara and Kira, held an intense silence, their bald heads bowed, sharp shadows highlighting their striking features. They were being punished, exiled from their homeworld, Xandar, for crimes they barely understood. The Xandarian High Council had deemed their radical ideas of individual freedom and self-expression a threat to the Hive Collective. As the ship plunged into Earth's atmosphere, tremors coursed through its structure, flames licking at the heat shields. Lara and Kira braced themselves, their suits adjusting automatically to the increasing G-forces. With a deafening impact, the ship collided with the ground, creating a deep scar in a grassy field on the outskirts of a city. Steam escaped from the ship's vents as the hatch slowly opened, revealing the two aliens to a crowd of curious onlookers. Humans of all shapes and sizes stared in disbelief, their primitive minds struggling to comprehend the advanced technology before them. Lara and Kira emerged from the ship, their metallic suits glinting in the sunlight. They stood tall and proud, refusing to show any sign of weakness before the inferior species. Lara muttered, disparaging the humans, while Kira cautioned her to blend in if they wanted to survive. A man in a dark suit pushed through the crowd, flanked by armed soldiers. He approached the aliens cautiously, his eyes wide with fear and awe. "Greetings," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "I am General Marcus Briggs, representing the unified government of Earth. We come in peace." Lara, scornful, simply rolled her eyes, but Kira stepped forward, tilting her head in a gesture of respect. Kira introduced herself and her sister, explaining they had been sent to Earth as punishment by their people. The general, clearly surprised by Kira's diplomacy, regained his composure and welcomed them. He promised to do his best to accommodate them during their stay. Lara and Kira, though still resentful, allowed themselves to be led by the general, a sense of anticipation mingling with apprehension in their hearts. As they were taken to a holding facility, Lara and Kira couldn't help but feel a strange sense of anticipation. Earth was a chaotic and primitive world, full of unknown dangers, but also a place of great potential where an individual could be truly free. Deep down in their consciousness, they both wondered if they might find something unexpected on this strange planet, something that could change their lives forever. The sterile white walls of the interrogation room seemed to close in on Lara and Kira as they sat before General Briggs and his team of scientists and military personnel. The humans bombarded them with questions, their primitive minds struggling to grasp the complexities of Xandarian society and technology. "So let me get this straight," Briggs said, rubbing his temples. "You were exiled for having radical ideas about personal freedom. Is that right?" Lara, with disdain, explained that in Xandar, the collective was everything and individuality was seen as a weakness, a threat to their way of life. Kira, trying to defuse the situation, explained that they believed true strength came from embracing differences, not suppressing them. The general, thoughtfully, asked what they planned to do now that they were on Earth. The sisters, exchanging a meaningful glance, admitted they didn't know, but hoped to find a place for themselves with the help of the humans. Briggs, after some reflection, assured them that as representatives of the unified government of Earth, they would do their best to assist them. He signaled the end of the interrogation, mentioning that they had arranged temporary accommodations in a secure facility, with all the necessary amenities and a team of specialists to help them adapt to life on Earth. As they followed the humans to their new quarters, Lara and Kira couldn't help but feel their minds reeling from the sudden turn in their lives. Lara's distrustful demeanor was palpable as they walked down the sterile corridors of the facility. She whispered to Kira that she didn't trust the humans, sensing that they were hiding something. Kira, with a furrowed brow, agreed partially, but stressed that they had no choice but to play along for now, needing the humans' help to survive in this primitive world. The sisters were led to a small, sparsely furnished room, with 2 narrow beds and a tiny bathroom. It was a stark contrast to the luxurious quarters they were accustomed to in Xander. Lara, with a groan, threw herself on one of the beds, staring at the ceiling. Kira, trying to remain optimistic, suggested they view the situation as an adventure, a chance to explore a new world and learn a new way of life. Lara, rolling her eyes, scoffed at Kira's optimism, but at the same time recognized that her sister had always been the more hopeful of the two. Kira sighed, knowing that the situation was far from ideal, but insisted they had to make the best of it. As they settled in for their first night on Earth, they couldn't shake the feeling that their lives were about to change in unimaginable ways. Days turned into weeks as Lara and Kira adjusted to life on Earth. The humans provided everything they needed: food, clothing, shelter, but the sisters still felt like outsiders, isolated in a world that wasn't theirs. They spent their days learning about Earth's history and culture, marveling at the primitive but charming ways of the humans. Lara found herself drawn to the art and music of the humans, admiring the passion and emotion that emanated from each note and brushstroke. Kira, on the other hand, was fascinated by human science and technology, marveling at the ingenious solutions they found to overcome their physical limitations. However, even as they immersed themselves in the wonders of Earth, they felt that something was missing in their lives. While they had each other, there was a void in their hearts that they couldn't explain. One day, while exploring the city that surrounded the facility, they found themselves in a bustling marketplace. The air was thick with the scent of spices and the sound of bartering. Lara was captivated by a stall selling handcrafted jewelry, marveling at the delicacy of the pieces. Kira, equally enchanted, felt an inexplicable connection to the simplicity and beauty of the humans' creations. How will the students react to the dangers presented by Leo about Earth? Will Xander's activity manage to break down barriers of prejudice and fear? Do you think it is possible to overcome prejudice through shared knowledge? If you're enjoying this story, be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow the next chapters of this epic journey. Lara and Kira, even though isolated, began to adjust to life on Earth. The routine at the facility was monotonous, but it allowed them to explore aspects of human culture they had never considered before. Lara spent hours listening to music, observing paintings and sculptures, enchanted by the humans' ability to express such deep emotions through art. Kira, on the other hand, spent her time immersed in books of science and technology, fascinated by the ingenuity of human inventions. The sisters started interacting more with the facility staff. Kira, especially, found it interesting to talk to the scientists who were eager to learn about Xandarian technology. Lara, though more reserved, began to appreciate conversations about art and philosophy. Even if the conversations were superficial, they helped to reduce the feeling of isolation they had felt since arriving on Earth. Adaptation wasn't easy. Lara and Kira frequently argued about the best way to adapt to life on Earth. Lara, more cynical, found it difficult to trust humans and their culture, while Kira, more optimistic, believed they could find a home there. These arguments, however, also strengthened their bond, reminding them that, despite everything, they still had each other to support and rely on. In an effort to better understand the world they now inhabited, Lara and Kira began exploring the city surrounding the facility. Initially, they were accompanied by guards, but, in time, they managed to convince the authorities they weren't a danger. The city streets were bustling with life and movement, a cacophony of sounds, smells, and sights that were both strange and fascinating. The sisters were impressed by the diversity of urban life. The streets were filled with people of all ages and backgrounds, each following their own path. Lara was surprised to see how welcoming and friendly humans could be, despite their strange appearance. Kira marveled at the architecture and technological inventions, which, though primitive compared to Xander, showcased a surprising ingenuity. On one of their explorations, they came across a vibrant and colorful marketplace. Vendors displayed their wares with enthusiasm, creating an atmosphere of energy and excitement. The sisters wandered through the market, marveling at the variety of merchandise. Lara, especially, was captivated by a stall selling handcrafted jewelry, where each piece seemed to tell a unique story. Kira, observing her sister, realized that, despite everything, there was beauty in the simplicity of human life. While exploring the market, Lara and Kira were drawn to a small stall selling handcrafted jewelry. The pieces were simple but incredibly detailed, each seeming imbued with love and care. "Look at this, Kira," Lara said, picking up a delicate silver bracelet. "The craftsmanship is impressive." Kira agreed, admiring a pair of star-shaped earrings. Humans might be primitive, but they know how to find beauty in the simplest things. The vendor, an old man with twinkling eyes, approached the sisters, initiating a friendly conversation. He asked about their homeworld and the reasons that brought them to Earth. Lara and Kira, reluctant at first, ended up sharing their story. The man listened intently, nodding with understanding. "You've been through a lot," he said, "but perhaps this happened for a reason. It could be a chance to find something you didn't even know you were searching for." Lara frowned, confused by the old man's words. "What do you mean?" The man smiled, his eyes crinkled by years. "Love, my dears, the greatest force in the universe. The only feeling that can break down any barrier and heal any wound." Kira, intrigued, asked, "But we have each other and our duty to our people. What else could we need?" The vendor shook his head, still smiling. "There are many kinds of love. The love between sisters is beautiful, but it's not the same as the love between two souls who beat as one." As they left the market, the old man's words echoed in Lara and Kira's minds. They had always been enough for each other, but now, a strange sense of emptiness was beginning to form. Was there something more that they were missing? Something that could fill the void in their hearts? Lara and Kira reflected on their lives on Xander and what it meant to love and be loved. Kira, always the more introspective of the two, pondered the nature of the love the vendor had mentioned. She wondered if she truly understood the concept of love beyond the bond she shared with Lara. The possibility of a different kind of love, something deeper and more personal, was both intriguing and frightening. Lara, in turn, tried to rationalize the confusing feelings that arose after the conversation with the old man. Back at the facility, the sisters continued to discuss what they had learned that day. Lara, initially skeptical, began to consider the idea that Earth might offer something they had never experienced on Xander. Kira, on the other hand, was more open to the idea of finding a new type of connection. Both agreed that, though they were in a strange and sometimes hostile world, the experience could be an opportunity for personal and emotional growth. As days passed, Lara and Kira began to explore their own emotions in ways they had never considered on Xander. Daily interactions with humans and new experiences on Earth were changing their perspectives on life and love. Lara, who had always been more reserved and cynical, began to open up more to the possibility of forming new connections, while Kira, with her naturally curious spirit, explored the different aspects of human culture that sparked her emotions. Lara began to develop a special interest in human music. She spent hours listening to songs that spoke of love, loss, and hope, feeling connected to the raw emotions that shone through in the lyrics and melodies. Kira, on the other hand, delved deeper into human science and technology, admiring the ingenuity and determination with which humans tackled their challenges. These new passions helped them to better integrate and understand the complexity of the human experience. The sisters also began to notice how their interactions with humans were becoming more meaningful. They formed friendships with some of the scientists and guards at the facility, sharing stories and learning from each other. Lara and Kira were slowly becoming part of the community, finding solace and connection in a place that initially seemed so alien and hostile. How will sisters Lara and Kira handle these new emotions and connections on Earth? Will they find true love amid their discoveries? And how will this new perspective affect their future? If you're enjoying this story, be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow the next chapters of this epic journey. As they integrated more into life on Earth, Lara and Kira began to make friends among the humans. Their unique personalities and natural curiosity drew in people who wanted to learn more about the aliens. Lara, despite her initial skepticism, found solace in deep conversations about art and philosophy with one of the guards, Sergeant Jake Smith. He admired her strength and the way she defended her beliefs, forging an unexpected bond between them. Meanwhile, Kira found herself increasingly engaged in scientific discussions with Corporal Alex Donovan. Alex, fascinated by Xandarian technology, spent hours debating with Kira about possible applications and technological advancements. Kira felt inspired by Alex's passion for learning and his desire to better understand the universe, strengthening the connection between them. Both soldiers were, silently, developing deep feelings for the sisters. One night, while Lara and Kira were in their quarters, a heated argument erupted between them. Kira, emotionally charged by the new experience, expressed her desire to explore human emotions more deeply. Lara, still reluctant and protective, resisted the idea, worried about potential dangers. The argument was interrupted by the sudden arrival of Jake and Alex, who were on duty. They heard the commotion and entered to offer support. Jake and Alex, sensing the intensity of the argument, decided to offer a friendly shoulder. Lara, initially defensive, lowered her guard when she saw the sincerity in Jake's eyes. Kira, in turn, opened up to Alex, expressing her frustrations and hopes. The soldiers listened attentively, offering words of comfort and encouragement. For the first time, Lara and Kira felt they could fully trust someone besides themselves. Lara, moved by Jake's honesty, confessed her fears and doubts. She spoke about her difficulty trusting humans and about the emptiness she felt since arriving on Earth. Jake, touched by her vulnerability, promised to be by her side, helping her navigate these new emotions. Kira, feeling a deep connection with Alex, shared her dreams of using Xandarian technology to improve life on Earth. Alex, impressed by her vision, offered his unconditional support. The conversations that night brought a new understanding to everyone. Lara and Kira realized that, despite their differences, humans could be valuable allies and true friends. Jake and Alex, in turn, felt a growing admiration for the sisters, recognizing the strength and courage they demonstrated. From that moment on, the four began spending more time together, exploring the city and sharing their lives. As days turned into weeks, the bonds between Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex deepened. They explored the city together, discovering new facets of human culture and learning from each other. Lara and Kira began to see Earth in a new light, appreciating the small beauties and complexities of human life. The feelings that had begun to arise were becoming stronger and harder to ignore. Lara, especially, felt torn between her duties to her people and the new feelings she was developing for Jake. He made her feel safe and understood, something she had never experienced before. Kira, on the other hand, found in Alex an intellectual soulmate. Their conversations about science and technology became increasingly personal, and she felt drawn to his passion and integrity. One day, while walking through a peaceful park, Jake and Lara had a deep conversation about the future. Jake confessed his feelings for Lara, saying he had never met anyone like her. Lara, moved, admitted that she felt something strong for him too, but was worried about the implications of a relationship between an alien and a human. Jake promised that, no matter the challenges, he would be by her side. Kira and Alex, who had lagged behind a little, had their own heartfelt conversation. Alex, feeling inspired by Kira's courage, confessed that he was in love with her. Kira, surprised but happy, revealed that she felt the same. She explained that she had never imagined finding someone who shared her passion for science and exploration of the universe so intensely. Alex promised to stand by her, facing any obstacle that arose. The revelations of that day were a turning point for both couples. Lara and Kira realized that, despite the difficulties, they had found something precious on Earth: true love. Jake and Alex, in turn, were determined to protect and support the sisters, no matter what. The connection between them became a source of strength and hope amid the uncertainties of their lives. As they returned to the facility, Lara and Kira reflected on how their lives had changed since arriving on Earth. What began as a punitive exile had transformed into a journey of self-discovery and love. They knew they would still face many challenges, but they were willing to fight for their new bonds and explore the potential of their new lives. However, not all was peaceful. News of the new alliances formed by Lara and Kira soon reached the Xandarian High Council. Seeing the sisters' growing attachment to Earth and humans as a direct threat to their collective society, the council decided to act. An elite group of Xandarian warriors was sent to Earth with the mission of eliminating Lara and Kira and anyone who tried to protect them. The arrival of the Xandarian warriors was marked by a sudden and brutal attack on the facility where Lara and Kira were staying. Explosions lit up the night sky, while alarms blared and chaos spread. Jake and Alex, awakened by the sounds of battle, rushed to the sisters' quarters, determined to protect them at all costs. Lara and Kira, seeing the devastation, knew they would have to face their own people. Lara, with determination, declared that they would not run. They would fight to protect everything they had built on Earth. Kira, equally resolute, agreed, knowing they couldn't let the council destroy their new lives. Jake and Alex, even knowing the risks, promised to fight alongside them. Together, the four prepared for the confrontation, determined to defend their right to love and live freely. How will sisters Lara and Kira handle this new threat? Will they be able to defend their new bonds and their new lives on Earth? If you're enjoying this story, be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow the next chapters of this epic journey. The arrival of the Xandarian warriors was violent and sudden. Explosions rocked the facility as laser beams sliced through the air, turning night into a chaos of light and sound. Lara and Kira, awakened by the commotion, knew they were about to face the greatest challenge of their lives. Jake and Alex, aware of the imminent danger, raced to the sisters' quarters, ready to defend them with their lives. Lara, her eyes blazing with determination, declared they would not run. They would fight to protect everything they had built on Earth. Kira, equally resolute, agreed, knowing they couldn't let the council destroy their new lives. Jake and Alex, even knowing the risks, promised to fight alongside them. Together, the four prepared for the confrontation, determined to defend their right to love and live freely. The combat was fierce. The Xandarian warriors, highly trained and well-armed, advanced with lethal precision. Lara and Kira, utilizing their combat skills and tactical knowledge, faced their compatriots with courage and skill. Jake and Alex, though less experienced in intergalactic battles, made up for it with bravery and determination, fighting side by side with the sisters. The battle that unfolded was intense, each side determined to win. As the battle raged, Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex found themselves increasingly surrounded. However, the strength of their unity and the determination to protect one another fueled their resistance. Lara, with her skill in hand-to-hand combat, took down adversaries with precision and force. Kira, utilizing her technological skills, disabled enemy weapons and created distractions to ease the fight. Jake and Alex, driven by the love they felt for the sisters, fought with a ferocity and courage that surprised even themselves. Jake, with his military training, covered Lara, ensuring she had space to maneuver and attack. Alex, with his technical knowledge, supported Kira, providing cover and support whenever needed. Together, they formed a cohesive and effective team, every movement coordinated to maximize their impact. Amidst the chaos, Lara and Kira felt a renewed sense of purpose. They weren't just fighting for their own lives, but for the right to choose their own destinies. The battle wasn't just physical, but also symbolic, representing the fight against oppression and the pursuit of freedom. Jake and Alex, sharing this vision, fought with equal fervor, determined to protect those they loved. The battle seemed endless, each side determined to win at all costs. However, a turning point began to form when Lara and Kira managed to disable the Xandarians' command ship. The destruction of the ship caused confusion among the enemy warriors, who were now leaderless and uncoordinated. Taking advantage of this, the sisters and their human allies intensified their attacks, forcing the Xandarians to retreat. Lara, with renewed ferocity, led the final assault against the remaining warriors. Her determination and courage inspired everyone around her, and even the human soldiers, initially frightened by the arrival of the aliens, found newfound strength and courage. Kira, utilizing her technological knowledge, managed to hack into the Xandarians' communication systems, disabling their weapons and further weakening their defenses. Jake and Alex, fighting alongside the sisters, felt the tide was turning in their favor. Each blow, each shot was executed with precision and purpose. The unity between humans and exiled Xandarians showed that, even amidst conflict, cooperation and solidarity could prevail. The turning point had arrived, and victory was within their grasp. With the Xandarians in disarray, Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex launched a final decisive attack. Utilizing their combined skills, they managed to defeat the remaining warriors, forcing them into a desperate retreat. The battle was over, and the facility, though damaged, stood tall. Victory was achieved, not just with brute force, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. Lara and Kira, exhausted but victorious, looked around, seeing the impact of the battle. The field was littered with debris, but also with signs of hope. Humans and Xandarians had fought together, proving that, despite differences, cooperation was possible. Jake and Alex, equally exhausted, approached the sisters, their faces reflecting relief and admiration. They had won, but they knew the true victory lay in their unity. The survivors gathered, tending to the wounded and assessing the damage. Lara and Kira, though aware of the losses, felt a new hope bloom in their hearts. They had defended their right to love and live freely, and this victory was a sign that they could build a new life on Earth. Jake and Alex, holding the sisters' hands, promised to continue by their side, facing whatever challenges came their way together. With the Xandarian threat gone, Lara and Kira began building a new life on Earth. The battle had strengthened their bonds with Jake and Alex, and together, they began to plan a future together. The sisters, now seen as heroes, gained the respect and admiration of the humans. The facility was rebuilt, and new projects of cooperation between humans and exiled Xandarians began to take shape. Lara, embracing her passion for art, began collaborating with human artists, creating works that celebrated the unity between different cultures. Kira, with her technological skill, began working on projects that integrated Xandarian science with human technology, aiming to improve quality of life on Earth. Jake and Alex, alongside the sisters, supported every new endeavor, reinforcing the belief that cooperation and love could overcome any obstacle. Life on Earth, once seen as a punitive exile, had transformed into an opportunity for growth and discovery. Lara and Kira, alongside Jake and Alex, were determined to build a future where all species could live in harmony. What began as punishment became a journey of self-discovery and love, showing that even in the most difficult situations, there was potential for beauty and hope. How will Lara and Kira shape their future on Earth with Jake and Alex? Will the unity between humans and exiled Xandarians continue to flourish? Leave a comment on how you think cooperation can transform societies. And if you're enjoying this inspiring story, be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow the next chapters of this epic journey. With peace restored and the facility rebuilt, Lara and Kira dedicated themselves to building bridges between humans and exiled Xandarians. Using their personal experiences as an example, they worked tirelessly to promote cooperation and mutual understanding. Lara organized art exhibitions that told stories of unity and resistance, while Kira led scientific projects that combined the best of human and Xandarian technology. Jake and Alex, always by the sisters' side, contributed in every way possible. Jake helped with security and logistics, ensuring that all initiatives were protected and successful. Alex, with his technical knowledge, assisted Kira in her research, sharing her passion for discovering new frontiers of knowledge. Together, they formed a harmonious team, determined to show the world that collaboration could overcome any challenge. The society around the facility began to change. Humans, initially distrustful of the aliens, came to see Lara and Kira as heroes and friends. Stories of their courage and dedication spread, inspiring many to embrace and celebrate diversity. Community events, which were once segregated, became celebrations of unity, where humans and Xandarians could share their cultures and learn from each other. Through their actions, Lara and Kira taught important lessons about resilience, acceptance, and the power of love. Local schools began to incorporate their stories into their curricula, using them as examples of how to overcome prejudice and work together for the greater good. Lara and Kira, frequently invited to speak at educational events, shared their experiences and encouraged young people to be open and curious about other cultures. Jake and Alex, in turn, shared their own lessons learned during the battle and the building of the new community. They emphasized the importance of courage, empathy, and a willingness to fight for what is right. Their stories of fighting alongside Lara and Kira inspired many to stand up for justice and equality in their own lives. The facility became a symbol of hope and positive change. The collaborative projects between humans and Xandarians began to bear tangible fruit. New technologies, born from the fusion of knowledge from the two species, began to improve the quality of life on Earth. Innovations spread rapidly, and many began to see the alliance with the Xandarians as a unique opportunity for progress. Mutual trust and respect flourished, paving the way for a bright future. As Lara and Kira's initiatives gained momentum, the community around the facility prepared for a future of continued cooperation. New alliances were formed, and joint research projects began to attract international attention. Earth, once seen as a primitive and chaotic world, began to be recognized as a beacon of innovation and interplanetary collaboration. Lara and Kira, alongside Jake and Alex, continued to lead these efforts, committed to ensuring that peace and cooperation prevailed. They knew there would still be challenges ahead, but they were prepared to face them together. Their determination and vision for a better future inspired many to join the cause, further expanding the impact of their actions. Preparation for the future included not just technological advances, but also cultural change. Humans began to adopt values of empathy, resilience, and acceptance, while exiled Xandarians learned to value individuality and freedom. This cultural exchange enriched everyone, creating a stronger and more cohesive society. Together, they were building a future where peace and prosperity were possible for all species. Lara and Kira became central figures in galactic integration. Their story of exile and redemption resonated with many planets, inspiring other civilizations to seek cooperation instead of conflict. They were invited to participate in conferences and panels, where they shared their experiences and encouraged others to follow their example. Their influence extended beyond Earth, impacting the entire known universe. Jake and Alex, now recognized as champions of peace and justice, accompanied Lara and Kira on many of these journeys. Together, they represented the strength of unity and love, showing that, despite differences, all species could find common ground. Their stories of courage and determination inspired others to seek peace and collaboration in their own lives and planets. Galactic integration was just beginning, and Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex were at the forefront of this movement. They knew the path ahead would be full of challenges, but they were prepared to face them together. The story of their lives was a testament to the transformative power of love and unity, showing the universe that true strength came from cooperation and mutual respect. Years have passed since the arrival of Lara and Kira on Earth. What began as a punitive exile transformed into a journey of self-discovery, love, and redemption. The facility where they began their new lives grew and became a center of interplanetary cooperation, a symbol of hope and progress. Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex continued to lead these efforts, inspiring generations to work together for a better future. Earth, once seen as a chaotic world, now stood as a beacon of peace and innovation. The collaboration between humans and exiled Xandarians produced technological and cultural advancements that benefited everyone. Lara and Kira, alongside their human partners, continued to work tirelessly to ensure that this peace and progress continued to grow. Their stories of love and courage became legends, inspiring many to follow in their footsteps. As they watched the sunset over the city they helped rebuild, Lara, Kira, Jake, and Alex felt a deep satisfaction and hope. They knew they had found something precious on Earth, something worth fighting for. The love they shared and the unity they had built were stronger than any challenge they could face. Together, they were ready for whatever the future held, certain that, with love and cooperation, they could overcome any obstacle. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to check out our other videos on the channel. Each one brings a new exciting and inspiring adventure, full of lessons about courage, love, and cooperation. Subscribe and join us on this epic journey.